And we're live. Here we are. All right, just trying to get everything set up. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. We have the fantastic Cherry Topp as well as Lusty Onyx joining us today on the Love Doctor Livestream. Hello. I haven't even
Hey!
poured a drink at this
Wow.
point. At this, I'd like to say thank you both for being here. Thank everybody for watching. We are here to answer your questions. For those who are confused, never seen this before, we are here to answer your questions about love, sex, and relationships. So there we are, just popping the bottle so I can pour a little bit of this fine gin that is local, who doesn't sponsor me.
I know you're gonna bring gin. Always, it's a
Uh,
jam.
There we are. There we are. All right. So we have that. We have a bunch of questions available, but if you want to ask questions, you can either drop them in the chat, or if you're a little shyer than that, then you can always just put it as you see at the bottom. Go to slido.com, and the event code is TLD209. That's TLD209. I don't think 209 will work, so that's why I'm saying 0, because it should be the 0, because we're season 2, episode 9.
yes.
Hi, how are you, lovelies?
Hi.
How's
Great.
you're good? You're great. What has been up with you in the past couple of weeks? Did you have good holidays?
Quiet. Stay
It
at
was.
home with the little small family, being safe, following the rules.
We got hello everyone. So pumped for the show. Wendy
Wendy.
Bonbons, the
Oh,
fantastic Wendy Bonbons.
I
Ah.
love it so much. Love you,
I-
boo.
If you are watching, let us know where you're watching from. We're going to be answering your questions about love, sex, and relationships to the best of our abilities.
Yes.
This
Hmm.
is mainly for entertainment purposes, but it doesn't stop it from being good advice, because that is our goal. Are we ready to get started with the first question?
Yes, we are.
Yes.
All right. The first question, because we start at the bottom, is eating ice cream cone like giving oral sex? That's the first question.
What?
Uh, Cherry is.
I mean, it can be sweet, but it's not that cold. So I would say 50-50. 50-50.
There we are. We got a 50-50 in there.
Kind of different. I don't think we can compare this. Food and oral sex, not the same licking.
All right. Food and oral sex, not the same licking. I hadn't even thought about the idea of cold, Cherry. That's just a level of
Yeah.
wrong. But I do want to say, with both, using teeth usually turns out to be painful. So that is the quick answer on that, is eating an ice cream cone like
And you
giving
don't
oral sex.
eat literally it. So like you're gonna have the cone at the end. Don't try to eat when you do. I mean, no teeth.
It's
Yeah, I get
I tend to swallow something, but
Yeah, and
me
also it can drip.
too.
It can drip, so you're gonna need to lick back,
yes.
but don't bite it like
No,
the
no,
cone.
that's I'm definitely on the no biting team. No biting.
Me too.
Hmm.
All right, the next question we have is, what is your favorite drink for a date? What is your favorite
Ooh.
drink for a date? And I'm in the hot seat. You know what? You don't always have to drink alcohol, though I do enjoy a good gin. If it's a fancy enough type of date, a Monkey 47, which is a classic gin brewed actually from Germany. It's an award-winning gin. Right now, I'm drinking what I think is a very fantastic gin, which is a local Montreal. It's from 1769 brewery or distillery, and it's called Madison Park Breakfast Gin, because it actually has
Ooh.
tea. There's tea in the gin, so that's pretty fantastic. But it depends on the place, etc. For the date. Like, water is fine. You want to stay hydrated on a date. That is for sure. Cherry, what is your thoughts?
Depending on the date, but I'm usually a gin and cranberry juice type of guy.
Ooh, all right. Keeping
I
track of your
like a
health.
I like my sweet with a little kick. Yeah.
I go with Porto.
Porto.
Porto. I really like the fact that it's kind of a mix of something stronger than a wine, and like I really like this mood that it come from it. When also the taste of a Porto is very like voluptuous, and I like bringing that kind of mood in a date.
It's got that texture that is
Mm-hmm.
that's good. All
Yes.
right, we're getting our first little confusing things coming up. But
Confusing.
if you are
Uh-oh.
watching, let us know where you're watching from and saying hello. We're going to go on to the next question and let us know what you're drinking right now. What are you two drinking tonight? I didn't ask you that. I've just been going on about what I'm consuming. Oh, Amarula.
I'm drinking E-Wild. That's a coffee liquor who's come from Quebec.
Ah,
That's yeah, that's very cool. It's come from Gatineau. It's amazing natural
something cool came from
flavors.
Gatineau. All right.
Yeah, there's some cool, something cool from Gatineau.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's very good. You can do shots with it or just sip it.
Boom. Our next question we have was, what was your first kiss like? What was your
Ooh.
first kiss like?
Ooh.
Lusty, you are in the hot seat.
I assumed that they were talking about a real kiss, not like kids kissing in a backyard and blah 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 behind a tree or whatever. So a real kiss was kind of it's surprising, but it was at high school. It was kind of a game too. We were just going out during lunch, a group of friends playing spin the bottle. I never wanted to kiss somebody really on the lips because I thought I would not be significant until the day the guy I was a crush on went to the dinner break little mini game, and I wait that the game switched to real kisses, and when I get this guy. We went in the closet. I got my first kisses there, but I was happy because it was cute and it was fine. And then it was cute because we started dating just some months, but it was cute. So we said that.
Boom. Good answer. You
Nice.
know, my first kiss happened in the woods outside of elementary school. And I still know the person. We're still in communications today. So it wasn't that bad. Wasn't that bad. Sherry.
My first official kiss, because the first kiss was kind of fast because we were teenagers and we just kind of like, yeah, let's kiss and bye. So let's not count that one. The very first one was a bit surprising as well to me at the time because it was from another man. But there was hi Rambo that way. But there was a lot of tongue involved. Yeah, it was a bit. It caught me off guard. Let's put it that way. But it wasn't a bad surprise. It was a good surprise, but it was still a surprise. But it was good.
The
I
tongue was a surprise, or the kiss.
Yes, both.
both. We actually we've just a bunch of new viewers have started watching us. So welcome to the show. We're going to be answering your questions about love,
Hey.
sex, and relationships. You can ask your questions directly in the chat, but if you want to hide, we have a bunch in anonymously asked already. So you can ask via the Slido. Go to slido.com. The event code is TLD209. And then we are able to answer it anonymously. Denis Leger is saying, hi, everyone. Welcome,
Hello,
Denis
Denny.
Leger.
Hi, Denny.
How you doing? Cheers.
Cheers. Solancha, there we are.
Yeah, sunshade. Thank you. I
What are
like
you
what you
drinking?
stated.
TLD. Excuse me. What are you drinking?
I'm drinking
don't
that
think I heard.
breakfast gin that I mentioned earlier. So it's a Montreal gin, and it contains Earl Grey tea. So it's quite delicious. Tastes
It's
like
a
home.
top of the morning gin.
That might be why I'm a night owl. I drink it at night. So we are popping up the next question, I
Yeah.
believe. Uh, no, did we? Yes, we did. All right.
Yeah, the
Does
kiss.
people prefer kissing with a lot or a little tongue? A lot or a little tongue? Cherry, since you just mentioned tongue.
Tongue, let's
A
go.
lot, a lot, a lot. I'm a full on. If we're talking real French kiss, it's a tongue has got to be involved, or I don't count it. Yeah, a lot.
Boom. Lusty.
I say I like with tongue, but I like the lips play, but never go with the tongue first. You know what you like, just the person is just too intense, it just you feel that you're gonna swallow this tongue. It's too much for me. Oh, when like the first thing you saw, when you're face to face is the tongue, you're like, oh my god, what is coming like a monster alien? You're like, don't show me your tongue first. But then, no, come on, TLD. No, exactly not what to do. Don't show you for me. Maybe it's different for Cherry, but for me, if you put your tongue first, it's a no. But it's different for everybody.
Boom. I agree. It's different with everybody. Uh, I I dislike it when it's too wet, and there's some tonguey kissers that make it a little too wet. And I, I, you know, I'm a fan of a bit of tongue play, but I love also nuzzling, which isn't necessarily kissing on the mouth. And I have better places to use my tongue, and
Mm.
Ooh,
don't want to strain it
Wah, wah,
unnecessarily.
wah, wah.
Boom,
bow,
That's
chicka, wow.
bow, bow.
All right. Oh, we have a question in the anonymous that was signed. That was signed.
ooh.
So let's
So
see how
not really
this is.
anonymous.
Can you give me some tips about erotic massages for couples? Thank you, Mr. V.
Cool.
And I'm in the hot seat on that. Communication is going to be key, as it is key with most everything to do with relationships. You want to listen not only to what your partner says, but also how they react. You know, when they do a moan, when they if they wince in pain, pay attention, be gentle. If they do a moan, that's a good moan. Do what you did again. But pay attention to also what they tell you. If they say, oh, can you just go a little lower, etc. Take the time to make it sensual. Take the time to listen to them, and take the time to enjoy them. All right, Cherry.
um, a lot of, I think a lot of with couples is a lot of ambiance, set the mood, maybe some slow music, maybe some lighting if you have that available to you, and literally massaging in any way or just touching in any way consensually will turn to be sensual, as long as you, as the love doctor just said, make it slow, take your time, go slow and long strokes, don't go late. You're not hacking them away. Take your time.
Boom. All right, against hacking.
Exactly. Not a piece of meat.
Yeah,
Like, taka, taka, taka.
no.
I would say first thing first, yeah, the ambience, like you said. Second, I like to include some accessory like feathers who give other sensation. Toil include some oil. Um, for listen to maybe the injuries or the pain of the person, it's better starting softly, and if the person want to get it harder, you're gonna know it and respect the person. Other tips: warm your hand first. Nobody want to get cold hand like exactly right on the spot. It's gonna cold your mood. um and the other point I wanted to say is that it exists a kind of massage erotic that's very cool if you're at another step of your relationship. That's called neuro massage. Neuro massage is a kind of massage that you include some oil that you spread all around your body, and you use your whole body to do a massage to the whole body of the others. There is some blanket made especially for those kind of massage, so you can use your body and explore and be around. And this is super sexy. There is like oil on body kind of something, but it's if you're hot to oil, and there is like different kind of oil depending if you're allergic, but the almond one is very good for your skin. That's it.
Boom. Here's a thought as well. What about going to a professional masseuse with your partner, so both of you are in the same
Mm.
room receiving a massage? What are your thoughts on that?
Can be interesting for a date. A couple's massage can be very interesting for a date. Sorry, I do have a sore throat. That's why my voice kind of comes and goes from time to time. I apologize. But yeah, it can be a very nice idea for a date, celebrate an anniversary type of thing. It can be very relaxing to take a spa day as a couple.
Good answer. Do you have anything to add, Lusty?
No, I think this great. Like place for massage is very cool, and there are some who involve a spa, so you can go in the spa and there's the person doing the massage. So and it's other experience.
All right. The next question we have is, how would you describe your family community's attitudes around sex, and how did that affect you? That's an interesting question. Lusty, you are in the hot seat.
Ooh. I had the same face as you, Cherry. I was like, not always going well. For the part that's going well, it's going well, it's fine. For the one who's not very going well, it's when I talk about my bisexuality. Like, unfortunately, my mom thinks it's a phase, and it's I cannot talk with her about that. And about all the stuff of sexuality, even if she says she's open mind, it's every time I started saying the good words, the right words, like penises, vaginas, what she's like, don't talk too loud. It's no, it's not a secret for me. It's like it's normal words, but it's difficult sometimes to just uh, describe stuff and like. But with my sister, it's amazing. We talk to each other like with about everything. With my fathers too, but with my mom, there was a lot of issues, and it's sad because she was super open mind, but. Mm, there is some stuff maybe she need to work about. It's a tricky question. Sorry.
Oh no, we're here to answer the tricky questions, and being honest, like you just were, was delightful. I I grew up in. I think all of us think we come from traditional families. I grew up in a very traditional religious household, and for me, it was. Sex wasn't generally talked about, but it was understood it happened. And it was suggested that, it will be special after you're married, but there wasn't really a big pressure to wait until marriage or anything of that nature. And, doing a little math with my oldest brother too kind of made me think that maybe my parents might have been engaging before before they got married. 6 months? 6 months after? All right. Just not to embarrass my brother. But they are. I think there were some attitudes about sexuality that were sort of ingrained by a lot of people growing up in the 70s and the 80s that just was not fair. And
Right.
it was okay for me to challenge those thoughts with my family, my community. And I wasn't ostracized for it. So, Cherry.
With it's I come from a semi-conservative traditional family. It's not a problem per se to talk about sex, but there's definitely a lot of stuff that I talk to my community and I talk to my friends nowadays that I would not talk to about with my family. There's a certain level of what you actually do inside of the bedroom. We don't want to know about it, but we don't have a problem having a conversation about how our children actually made when a penis comes in contact with a vagina and all of that stuff. We don't have a problem talking about the scientific, more sort of school conversation about it. But there's definitely conversations about kinks and fetishes that I won't. Sorry, mom, I'm not gonna talk about that with. I'm not gonna talk about fisting with my mom. Like it's not. Nah.
Because sometimes you just don't want to know.
Yeah.
I like you
My mom
choose this.
doesn't want to. My mom doesn't want to know what's the length of that conversation. Yeah.
I like you use like an extreme example.
Yeah.
Well, what's extreme for some person? All right.
Yeah,
Let's
exactly. It wasn't a judgment.
Cheers.
Cheers
cheers,
to that.
slunchy. There we are.
Yeah.
For those who are wondering, on my mug is the Slido,
Ooh.
the StreamYard. Sorry, the StreamYard logo. Those people are provided the platform that we use here. They don't provide it. It's not paid for. I pay for this service to bring this out. We're ready for the next question.
Yes.
Next question we have
Bring
is:
it
how much
on.
eye contact do you like to have during sex or oral sex? That is cherries.
Enough. I don't. I don't know. I don't. It's not. I make eye contact, but I don't have eye contact the whole time. But I do make eye contact. But for me, it's not a thing or a deal breaker. I do look at my partner from time to time because I want to know where they're at. I want to know the expression on their face. I want to listen to them. But yeah, so for me, it's like how much is what was the question? How much is too much?
The question was, how much eye contact do you like to have during sex or oral sex?
Enough to know where my partner is at, but like it's not a for me personally, it's not like a thing. That's all.
Lusty.
Um, Personally, I really enjoy eye contact during. There was a part about oral sex. I think it's really cool. You see the connection because it's like you are different. You are a different place. The person is up there. The person is down there, and I think it brings to the chemistry. Yeah, and when you see at some moment the eye, the contact of with the other person during the sexual act, I think it's gonna depend of the position. There is some who's gonna be very difficult to see the other person, or you bring a mirror in front of your face, and maybe it's gonna be kinky also.
Nice answer. All right. I like eye contact, but not just eye contact. Like certain positions, again, positions do make it difficult. Like missionary, it's a bit harder to have eye contact, but you have that full body contact. You have the chance of nuzzling the neck of your partner. What is the? I don't think this is the proper name, but I've always called it the Venus butterfly. That one. I like to be able to see my partner's face on that, but at the same time, the position allows me to see like almost their entire body. So eye contact is delicious, but I might be watching something else at that time, like breasts, as they move so deliciously. When it comes to oral, I one of my favorite oral positions is to be on the bottom while they sit at my face, and I can look up through the valley of their breasts and make eye contact, and just there's something in that. And if they need to grab at me or grab at my hair or whatever, I can see it on their face before the hands come in, and it's
You
I
can
like
say
that
it's
position.
delightful.
I like that position too, but there's usually still something on my face. So
Yeah, this is different.
it's true. It's, and when I receive oil, what
Oral sex.
oil, yes.
You are
oral sex?
always talking about massage.
Yes, not talking about massage. Oral sex. I do enjoy eye contact as well. I also, but the thing is, I get turned off if I don't believe my partner is enjoying performing oral, and some people
Mhm.
don't,
Yeah.
and that's okay.
Mhm.
If somebody's doing it because they think it's a chore,
You're gonna know it like very fast.
yes.
Honestly.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Our next question. Does chocolate is dangerous during food play? I guess this question is chocolate dangerous during food play?
Yeah.
I get to go first. The only danger I can think about would be well, two. There's two dangers. One is sugar in certain areas, which is bad because they could cause yeast infections. So you need to make sure you're thoroughly clean afterwards. And two, if you have white sheets or a white coach, you really don't want to have that stain on it. Other than that, I don't think there is a danger with chocolate in food play, but I may be wrong. So that might require a Google search just to be safe.
I can think of another. I agree, and I can think with another one. If you're melting the chocolate, it might still be hot to the skin, so you might actually burn the other person.
Yes.
Test a small area. Make sure it's not too hot.
And it would be sticky. There are chocolate pastes available.
Yes.
Lusty.
I agree. And I'm gonna also add just watch the food restriction or allergy of the person. Some stuff can be bad if there is like nuts inside your chocolate or something and the person get allergy. You don't want to live that. It's gonna finish at the hospital. That's not a good reason, and you're gonna be very uncomfortable. And yeah, also with milk. And if the person is vegan or allergic to the animal proteins.
That's also good to know. There is a Montreal comedian. He's Scottish actually, but he's currently in Hamilton, Scotland, right now. But he has a delightful story about receiving a birthday blowjob from his now ex-wife. And then thinking she gave him an STD. Because he has a nut allergy and she had a peanut butter sandwich beforehand.
Oh no! It's like the sad story of the girlfriend who kissed his boyfriend and then he died because of a peanut allergy. It's kind of this. Oh my god!
So there we go. I do recommend that watching that comedian if you get the chance. His name is Darren Henwood. Very delightful. He has many more jokes than just that one.
What a funny story.
Oh, you should have heard how he first arrived in Canada. But we have our next question. If you could only have sex in one position for the rest of your life, which would it be and why? Oh, that's a horrible question. But Lusty,
For me, it's easy. I don't know why you say it's a horrible question. I'm very on clitoris stimulation, so I need to ride. So if there is only one position that's my partner is gonna enjoy, and have a nice view on my boobs too, because he's a boobs guy, and I'm gonna climax in him too. It's gonna be me riding. So that's it for me. The one position.
Oh, it's like choosing the only meal you can eat for the rest of your life. It's like as much as you might love it now, you could get bored of it, and that would be. Now, I do definitely enjoy. I'm trying to remember what it's properly called. The Venus.
You said Venus butterfly, something like that earlier.
The Venus butterfly, but I don't think that's the proper name. It's if the female partner starts on her back, lifts one leg, and the male partner comes in between. So you're sort of on a perpendicular positioning.
Yes, there is a leg.
And she puts her leg up over, like this leg, while you have your legs one underneath, one over, and it just the sustainability of thrust is. I sound like I'm talking about rocket science, but it's definitely there's well, hold it. We've got a comment here saying the Venus dick trap.
Venus dick trap.
What? Venus what?
Dick trap.
Trap.
I don't think that's the one.
Yeah, I think it's in the Kama Sutra. Is it just only the butterfly, or isn't? I'm not sure. Wait. No, it's not the butterfly.
I'm
Sorry.
not sure.
No, it's not the butterfly.
So she's sort of on her back, but she can twist her hips a little bit, so she's halfway on the side. It's almost like you're doing a so okay, that's the position. That's see, I can't choose just that because I also love a 69. And a 69 is just so amazing when it's done right and both
When it's
people are
done
into it
right.
and both of them can multitask. So they can feel the pleasure and not stop giving pleasure at the same time. That's a beautiful position as well. Both of them are great. It's so hard.
But you can only
It's
pick
so hard
one.
to choose.
But the Venus butterfly, you can do also oral sex in. So like if you just put your face instead of your like the leg here, you
Well,
can have.
no, that's a different position.
Okay. I
It's
maybe
one
I should
position.
know.
That's just it. The one position.
Me,
Cherry.
my partner on all fours, because I like to watch a butt bouncing on my hips. So
Are you talking about the Eiffel Tower?
I
No,
don't know all the technical terms of it, but my partner's on all fours and I'm from behind.
In Eiffel Tower would be 3 people.
Yeah, an Eiffel Tower.
Okay, I thought you were talking about you both partners.
He's
or
talking more
partners.
doggy style, right?
Oh, okay.
Doggy
Okay.
style, yeah.
There we are. All right. If you have any comments, please drop them in. If you want to tell us what your favorite sexual position is, you can drop it into the chat. We can also take questions there. And we still have questions in the Slido. So let's bring some of those up. Right now, the next question we have is, what's something you've seen in porn that you've always wanted to try in real life? Oh, that's dangerous. That is utterly dangerous. All right, Cherry Topp, let's...
My thing here is like, is there something I've seen in porn that I haven't done yet?
That's part of it.
Well, I've already given this answer to another question before. Be fucked by 4 or 5 guys. Be gangbanged.
Oh, yeah. I was like gangbang.
I have not done that yet.
All right.
We'll see after tonight. We'll see after tonight. Slide into my DMs.
Slide into every DM. Maybe it's gonna happen. Maybe it's your fantasy too. Don't miss
There we go. And for the DMs, it's at the Cherry Topp. Remember, there's 2 P's.
Yeah.
All one word. Everything is spelled normally except for Topp. That has 2 P's, and that's on Instagram. So there we are. And did your phone just light up with a message? All right,
yes.
Lusty.
Yes.
And maybe you're gonna get an answer. Maybe. Kind of have this a little bit. First part of the answer of Cherry is mine. I've tried a lot of stuff, so I'm gonna answer with the fantasy that I unfortunately cannot realize, but I saw in porns. It's having a threesome with 2 men, but one is my partner and the other one is another man. So it's not possible because my main partner is not into guys, so it won't happen, but it's going to stay in my fantasy. So that's going to be the thing I would like to try.
Safely in your brain is safe.
Mm-hmm.
All right. There's a couple of things I think I want to retry that I have tried in the past. They were semi-successful, but probably not as successful as I would like. One would be like eating a woman as she's standing up. So she's got her back rested on a wall, one thigh over her shoulder.
Oh, and it wasn't successful.
Yes.
Like, was it?
It was a little bit cramping. The other thing is a standing 69.
Yeah,
Which is it takes a lot because I know that the person I was with was the blood rushing to their head made it hard for them to concentrate.
Oh my God! Imagine if she passed out.
Yeah, well, she didn't. But it was like, okay, they need to get down quickly, and I was able to help them down quickly without any harm. So But the thing is, it was not extensively long.
But you need to have strength and endurance. It's not easy. And I'm just thinking about like Cherry's who's doing pole dancing, like, and I'm sure you figure it out.
I'm a fairly solid lad, so I'm
Oh,
good.
in general, not talking on about you or me or whatever. In general, you need to have strength to do this position. Like that's it.
Oh, most definitely, and you definitely don't want to
Mhm.
drop your partner, or scare
No.
them like you
You.
might drop them,
Mm.
because they might bite,
I
and
would use
that
a
wouldn't be good.
chair. I would use a chair, but it would not be the position you described.
Right. All right. Next question we have: if you had to have sex with any famous person, living or dead, who would it be? I have this first. I would choose the living person.
Yeah, I bet. I bet. I bet.
Uh,
I
I
hope.
Marilyn Monroe always had a level of vulnerability
Ooh.
and incredibly sexy. Um, I don't think I'm her type, but Marlene Dietrich was also incredibly sexy and sensuous. Uh, I I mean, if we could pick them from any age, like I always found Terry Garr very sexy. Um, and I again, I'm definitely not their type. Very funny. Oh, how can I forget her name at this point when I consider her as sexy as and as funny as I do? Um,
It's gonna end with a what is your name again?
yeah, well, uh, Lily Tomlin. That's her name, Lily Tomlin, and she's a comedian and a presenter and an actor, and incredibly funny, and also happily married for I think 30 years to her female partner, Cherry.
Chris Hemsworth. If you're listening, slide into my DMs. Yes, Chris Hemsworth.
Boom. You know what? I want to mention that tomorrow night my
Or
manager Paul Ash is doing a geek debate show, and
Oh,
one of the questions
cool.
that the panel is going to be doing is going to be who's the best Chris, because of the entire Marvel thing. They have the who is the best Chris, because they have Chris Hemsworth. They have the other Chris's.
Chris Evans.
Chris Evans. There's the guy from Parks and Rec.
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt, right. And so there's a lot of talk about who is the best Chris. So we open it up to be all the Chris's, and people will be answering, debating on who is their favorite Chris. Lusty.
I have two answers because I have a woman crush and a man crush. So for actors, the man is Evan Peters. If you remember the last Quicksilver, so that's him, the one who's go super fast and the X-Men and blah blah blah. So this one,
Mhm.
and for the woman Natalie Dormer, who played the wonderful lady Tyrell, who married the creepy Targaryen. Yeah, she also played in Game of Thrones and everything. She's a badass. I also liked her when she had her half I would say half shave hair. How
Shaved
do you
head.
call half shaved head?
Mhm.
I like it so much. I like this little like bad guy mood in a woman. Um and yeah, Heavens because I think I have something for actors who played serial killer or stuff in movies. And he played a lot in American Horror Story. Maybe that's why I like those kind of stuff. I don't know. They're hot.
People.
That's it. That was the question.
I know that we were stuck talking about actors, but people who can intensely act. Like, do you think that's an attractive quality or not?
What do you mean?
Like you mentioned, people who play serial killers well. Like
I mean, like the mood of being able to. I
appear
mean,
dangerous.
yeah, appear dangerous, but it's only when I watch like movies or series. It's like never in real life. Like I'm not attracted to bad guys in real life, but when I see like actors, I'm like, oh, you look like a sweetie, but you playing bad guys role. I think it just bring um role play attraction probably.
Taken. All right. We have our next question. By the way, if you want to ask questions, you can go to the Slido and you can ask your questions anonymously by going to slido.com or sli.do. And then the event code is TLD209 because this is season 2, episode 9 of the Love Doctor Livestream. I do also want to point out that if you want to support the show, I'm just going to be changing the banner at the bottom. You can go to linktr.ee at the bottom / Paul Ash, that's my manager. And you can, the first link there says buy me a drink, and that can donate money to the show. And everything that comes in is split evenly between all 3 performers you're seeing on the screen here now.
And tipping is super sexy.
Tipping is very sexy.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. But the Slido is there as well. And our next question is, I want to have a threesome with my 8 years wife. I hope they don't mean that their wife is 8 years old. A wife of 8 years. I'll take that. But I don't know how to approach her about this fantasy. What do you recommend? Lusty.
Okay. You're gonna need to have that discussion. You're gonna need to go and face it, or you will never get your answer. Maybe you can start by talking about each other fantasy. Maybe something who's gonna light up some tension. I mean, positive tension, and maybe she's gonna tell you some fantasy that maybe you didn't consider to do, and you were like, oh, okay, and maybe it's gonna bring you more confidence to tell her what you're scared to tell her. So you never know what's going to happen. It's not assured that she's gonna be down to it. Maybe you're gonna need to work about that. Maybe it's gonna never happen, but you need to talk about it.
Boom. Good answer. If anything, obviously discussion has to come in. If anything, maybe not just asking about fantasies and sharing your fantasies with your partner, but maybe suggesting watching porn together. And then you could point out a scene that you like. The other thing is make sure that everybody involved in the threesome is interested in everybody else. That is the hard part. Because if everybody isn't interested in everyone else, that means somebody has to multitask very, very well. Sure.
I agree with both of you. Maybe start a conversation talking about fantasies, but the bottom of the line is there is no easy answer. There's no easy way. You will have to have that conversation in one way or another. Communication is key. Honesty is key. Consent is key. So you may start with a conversation about fantasies. You may start with porn. See what are the interests on your partner. If there is an interest, go for it. And to add with TLD answer, if you don't necessarily find somebody else, you can also get a professional, get a paid sex worker to help you to cross that bridge, let's say.
Boom. And you know what? Even fantasy and having fantasy chat during sex about it at the same time. So, describing what would be happening while the two of you are making out, etc. Be it watching porn, however you wish to do it.
Yes.
All right. Are we ready for the next question? Yeah, you know what?
Yes, we are.
I might. By the way, that link tree also has a link to the store. I think I might make some T-shirts that just say multitasker. on it. So people who know, because I'm always telling people that, you know, you better be good at multitasking if everybody isn't interested in everyone else in any sort of group dynamic. Next question we have here: is it safe to buy lingerie from a second-hand store? I want to look sexy for my boyfriend, but the prices they are selling it for in the actual stores is ridiculous. Cherry.
I would say yes, but do wash them again, just to be sure. But I'd say yes, twice. Yeah.
All right. And Lusty, anything to add other than
I
twice?
agree, but I would say there is so many other way to get lingerie cheap, but who's gonna make you feel pretty. There is online stuff who's not expensive and who won't break on your body because there is some who are very cheap. There is Shane, who's very good. There is and delivery kind of fast, and there is also Pink Cherry, who's very cool. And you very it's a Canadian company also. You're gonna get your stuff fast, and it's they have. I'm talking also for curvy women. They have curvy section and everything, so that's super cool, and it's less expensive than going to a sex shop if you're talking about that, or other big website like Victoria's Secret or stuff. You're gonna ruin yourself, of course. So there is other possibility, but if you go to secondhand, wash it one, twice, third time. It's always more safe.
Boom. So yeah, secondhand stores washing it is essential. Uh, Online is an option. Definitely, everything that everyone else has said has been fantastic. Also, if you feel a little crafty, most burlesque performers they don't wear stuff that they was bought off the rack. They modify it themselves, and
Always.
so the skills there can help you craft the lingerie that you'd like, and make sure that your partner is interested in lingerie. For a lot of people, lingerie is something that's in the way. Like
Hmm.
the tease is fun, and sometimes having breakable lingerie is also fun.
But not if you go to the beach. Some people do mistakes and then the lingerie fall. Or are
At
your
the
friend
beach,
who
all
told
right.
me?
Is there a story behind that, Lusty?
Yeah, there is not okay. It's gonna be cliche, but it's not my story. That happened to a friend. Yeah, it
The mic's a
happened
little too
really to a
close to your
friend.
mouth. Just
Okay,
yeah.
like
All right.
this. Okay, I just said it's gonna be cliche, but it happened to a friend, not me. It's true. It's like she bought a piece okay, it was kind of a bat suit, but looking like lingerie, but she didn't see the mark was gonna just not rip up but melt in contact of water. That was like a joke underwear here, she bat suit. And when she went in the water at the beach, the all the costume, the bat suit just melt. She was naked on the beach, so she just trolled herself and she didn't know.
All right. So I put a hashtag. It happened to a friend. So if
Yeah,
anyone wants to write a story of what
but
it
I'm
happened
honest,
to a
it
friend,
wasn't me. But like, I would not tell you if that happened. I would be too ashamed.
all right. And you know what? I think I may try to do Lusty. If you could send me after the show a collection of links of good lingerie places that you recommend,
Yes,
I will put that in the description on the YouTube channel,
yes,
so
yes,
people can check them out by clicking the links on the YouTube channel.
of course.
And we get all right. Okay, we still have about 10 questions to go here, but please add any more questions that you want to. And this is our next question. Oh, shoot, I'm in the hot seat on this one. What's your go-to for Netflix and chill? What is your go-to for Netflix and chill? All right, I am. I'm gonna have to really think about this. My go-to for Netflix and chill. Lately, it's been Big Both because it's fun and it starts
That's
conversations.
funny.
It's funny. It starts conversations. But then there's You know, I am a big film and series fan, so for me, it's probably best if the Netflix is off, just to spend time to focus on each other. So that's got to be it. As a yeah, I guess as an icebreaker, Big Mouth is good. There's also Sex Ed is a good. It's a funny British series with Gillian Anderson, and yeah, I guess nothing with that has too much tension. I don't know why. All right, Cherry.
Um, in my little gay world, I'm gonna say, there it's not necessarily on Netflix, but it is a paid TV service. There's Drag Race. A lot of people in my community do watch Drag Race, so we usually discuss a lot about that. If not, I am a huge fan of Archer. I don't know if you guys know that series, but that is basically my humor. It's not for everyone, but it's basically my humor. So I usually put that on. If the person gets scared, I'm like, okay, this is not gonna work. And if they're into it, then we have a lot of conversation and a lot of laughs.
Boom. Good answer. I was about to say that is having that connection with somebody. It's important that they get your humor. So that's a good test.
I'm gonna come back. Do you hear me well?
Yes.
I heard a weird sound. Okay. I'm gonna come back to the last. No, not the last answer that we were talking about. Like I was talking about my love about the serial killer stuff and blah blah blah. You said no tension. I often go to with stuff with tension. It can be a geek suggestion or geek movie like Star Wars or stuff that were unconditionally loved, or Lord of the Ring, Harry Potter stuff. But I like stuff on series who are very tensioning, like you, who's a series about a sociopath relationship. Dexter, who's a serial killer who kills serial killer, or American Horror Story was a killer and dark story. And I like this. My last date I got, we watched and just it's true. Black Mirror. This is creepy. But I
It's
like
fine.
this. And the person at the end was like, oh, you just make me like having reflection and stuff. This is something. And like, it bring other mood, but it depends of your taste. If you don't like creepy stuff, don't watch those. But old movie or big series like Harry Potter, Lord of the Ring, blah, 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 Star Wars, it just bring nostalgia, and nostalgia brings stories and maybe bounding.
I
I
full on thought you were gonna say my go-to is Silence of the Lambs,
No,
and
no.
I'm just like,
Okay, no,
oh, okay.
maybe not that.
Maybe a
there
little too much.
I want brains. Oh God.
there was what was there was a story, a time loop show that was set in New York. I really enjoyed watching that, and I think it I can't remember the female actress, but I mean, like, she started out in like Detroit Rock City, a comedy film, but she basically she's at a party, and she dies, and then she just keeps on reliving, but she tries to change things through it all.
Oh, was it the movie Second Chance?
No, it wasn't a movie.
Oh,
It
it
was
was
a
a series.
series. It was a
Hmm.
Netflix series.
Russian doll,
Russian Doll. That's it. That is it.
Hmm.
the redhead from Origin is the new black.
Yeah. Okay. Um, you know what? I haven't watched the Orange is the New Black, but
And
I did realize that there's a sexy thing that I like to watch, and then there's something else that I like to watch to sort of gauge people
Na-
by.
Natasha Lyonne. That's her name.
Natasha Lyonne. Okay. Russian Doll. It's a great series. I think there's going to
Yes.
be a season two, but I'm not positive if that got killed by COVID. Uh,
Oh,
but Secretary is a great sort of when you're very comfortable with each other and you want to watch something a little bit psychological but sexual tension.
50 Shades of Grey. No,
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 don't,
no,
don't.
no,
It's
no.
no.
not an actual good movie.
Triple
Don't,
no, you don't watch
don't,
this. Like
don't.
you're
There
gonna
there
be
are things that are problematic about Secretary, but it is a better representation of a DS relationship. So
neither the series Sex Life. Did you watch it? Sex Life. That was super bad. It's like a fantasy of a mom at home who's starting to write about her ex relationship was more passionate than her mom's life at home with kids and blah blah blah. And but it's it's when you are in the kinky community, you just get bored very fast.
mm,
Same thing with 50 Shades, but you're like you're
that's wrong.
cringing.
Yeah, I do. There is one thing that I will watch that I will show to prospective partners because I want them to understand me, and that is The Commitments, which is an Irish film directed by Alan Parker, of all people, based on a Roddy Doyle book. And it's fantastic. And it's got great music. It's generally uplifting. And anyone in the performing arts, I do highly recommend that you watch that film. All right. I guess we're going to go. I do recommend both of you watch it if you've not seen The Commitments. You might need subtitles for some points because the accent can get a little thick, but it's brilliant. Next question we have is, should we cuddle after sex or have some space? Lusty.
It's really depend of the person. Uh, the question was, yeah, was not for me. For me, I like cuddling, honestly, but it's gonna be it depend of the person, and you cannot assume that the other person is gonna like what you like. So, except and much more, it's a first date, and finally you have intimacy, and you like to cuddle. Maybe the other person's gonna be like, "What are you doing?" Or maybe you don't know. So it's weird because you cannot really talk about what do you like after sex if it's your first date before. I think I, it's because you don't know if it's going to happen, so you cannot assume that it's going to happen. But if you like, it's all right. If you don't want to cuddle, some people like want to have space because it brings them in mind, mood, different place. Um, but if you want to cuddle and you should communicate it, but maybe you're gonna get a no.
Personally, I prefer to cuddle afterwards. I am a person who will volunteer to sleep in the wet spot because I'm very happy it's there. I'm sort of proud of its location and how large it may be. So I sort of like that. Um, Different people are different. I had a very good friend who sort of dated, basically hooked up with this person on a semi-regular basis, and she was very upset that he would go take a shower right away, and she wasn't invited. Uh, and she began to sort of like, is it me? Why does he need to shower right away? And I thought it was particularly rude as well. So I'm very much about cuddling. I do, you might need to do some cleaning up depending on what you were doing, and take care of anything such as sugar. But if you did sex right, you should be both very vulnerable at that point, and that's a good point to cling together. Lusty. You're muted, Lusty. We can't hear you.
Lusty already answered.
I answered to this.
Oh, you did. Oh, you did. Sorry, my bad.
Oh, it's okay.
Would be me. It would be me. I agree with both. I agree that it depends. It depends on the person. It depends on each one. If you like to that much human contact right after, or if you want some space, it really depends from person to person. So I agree with that. Personally, I actually much prefer, because there is such thing as aftercare. So I much prefer cuddling after. I'm not much of a cuddling person myself, but after sex, I will do it. On the taking a shower, though, as a guy who has sex with other male identifying people, there might so therefore anal sex. There might be some washing who is needed after
Yes.
sex if stuff happens, because it does happen. It's a natural thing. It does happen. There's no shame on that. But there might be some washing who that is necessary in order to avoid infections and stuff like that. So that might be a thing for those reasons. But other than that, it really depends on the person. I do enjoy.
Boom. Let us know in the chat whether or not you're a cuddle slut or somebody who is get me out of there right away. So I think we got a trio of cuddle sluts right here. So
I like the word
Slide
cuddle
'em.
sluts.
I do. I
Slide,
love the word cuddle
slide
slut.
into my DMs.
Yeah.
There we are. And don't forget to donate to the channel. It's running on the bottom. You can still go to the Slido to ask your questions anonymously if you need to ask your questions anonymously. If not, you can put it into the chat. We'll get to the ones in the chat faster. We still have a bunch in the Slido to get to. So we do have a comment has just come in. Denny Leger I just licked my fur. Easy peasy. It's nice to know that the furry community is watching us here.
Yeah, of course.
But do they do the full leg out, head in? How does that work?
Tell
Denny,
us,
you may,
Denny.
Please
Denny, you may need
comment
to
to
fill
us.
this in.
Put us
Yeah.
to us. Answer to us in the
Tell
comments.
us, Denny. We need to know.
The elegance, the full elegance.
There is people who are able to do it. I respect that.
And our next question is wearing a padded bra false advertising? Is wearing a padded bra false advertising? Jerry, you're not the market for this advertising, but
I'm not well. There are such things as drag queens,
Oh, true.
but they actually do that with a purpose. So on their case, it might actually be their character. So it's not false advertising. But I guess on the sense that this question is being asked, I don't know, but maybe there is such thing as too much padding, and there can be a certain level of disappointment once that comes out, when the other person discovered that it was just too much padding. But I'll let you to finish that one.
Right, Lusty.
I would say first, how can you assume it's really padding? Maybe it's true and you don't know. Second, maybe do you want to bounce on it, TLD? I see you was
I think the question is it's a padded bra. The padded bra itself, is that false advertising?
Yeah, but maybe it's just basically a paddle bra. I see it in another way, that maybe I don't think it's for making it false advertising, because maybe the person is wearing it for other reason, maybe self-esteem, maybe it's herself one liking to do
Yeah.
it and be comfortable.
Maybe it's
Maybe the person, maybe the woman or the man or the person who's wearing it, the head have pleasure to do it. Maybe they have injuries. Maybe they need to do it. Some person have breast removing who make them complex and they want to just have some padding to feel better in their own skin. So, but after this, if it's your own partners who put pad in a bra or it bra, and it's make you uncomfortable, talk to the person and ask them why you wear that. You're gonna have your answer.
Good answers from both of you. I want to just touch on something Lusty had mentioned, in the fact I don't know the stats, but I think it might be the majority of women have their breasts are not even sized.
Normally, yes, it's like the size of the balls.
Yeah, and so sometimes padding is worn to make it appear a bit more symmetrical. But and we have an answer from Denny about licking fur. Is sorry, but no self-respecting cat reveals their secrets or mysterious creatures.
Oh, snap. You'll never know
Shame.
that. Oh, come on.
Cheers.
Can,
Cheers.
I have cat treats. Do you want some, Denny? Look, in exchange of the answer, I can shake it for you.
All right, she's shaking it for answers.
Exactly.
There is I do want to point out one other thing. Is wearing a padded bra false advertising? It's only advertising if you're paying for a product. And second, I'd like to also point out that if you're only interested with a person because of the size of their breasts, you don't deserve to be with that person. Right? When you have a chance to share sex with someone, everybody, you should be attuned to the whole person, not just their breast size.
Yeah, that's not the real personality. You can have big personality, but that's maybe not what's the best in the person.
And we have a conversation from Misty Portugal. I absolutely don't think it's false advertising. Is wearing Spanx false advertising? You know, you get a lot of the incels that think padded bras, Spanx, and makeup even is false advertising. Right? These things are available to men. The men can wear girdles as well. Or
cock rings.
I've seen padded shirts that make people have bigger shoulders and arms. It is like a self-esteem thing. The question makes me a bit angry. Like, presenting yourself in whatever way you want is your choice.
Exactly.
Maybe it's not advertising at all. Why is it advertising? Because you're expecting that if they're wearing something, it is to be sold to you. Maybe they're just wearing because they want you.
Exactly. That's that's a great point about how a lot of us are geared. We're expected that everything that's out there is for us, especially because social media just makes our feed is geared towards us. So we assume everything in the world is geared for us at this point. Yeah. It's edited for us. So I definitely agree there. So exactly, it's not advertising at all. They might be a couple seconds behind us, or maybe even a full minute behind us in watching.
Are we gonna need to start to put at the wiggle room just a little mark? Be advertised. Everybody's wearing makeup here. Don't.
I don't think so. And you know what? I've not worn makeup. Well, I've
No,
had.
but
No,
you know
that's
what
not
I
true.
mean.
That is not true.
Ooh.
I have had makeup on my face on stage at the wiggle room, but that's usually because somebody kissed me.
But even like a little bit of powder or whatever it should. I mean, nobody needs to know why you decide to put makeup or wear somebody. It's none of your business. If you care about everybody's doing, get a life. Sorry, not sorry.
Not everybody in the world is doing what they do for you. Except if it's
exactly. In this case, it's none of your business.
All right, our next question that we have. Oh, this is bad. I find my wife's journal and was curious. I imagine they found their wife's diary and was curious. I know it's a bad move, but inside I found old reviews slash ratings of her last partners. I don't know what to think. Help me. All right. First thing, it's a little rude to go into it. Second thing, she's with you now. All right. She has made that choice. It doesn't matter how the others are rated. You are the person she has chosen to be with. And you said wife, so you've actually married and made a lifetime commitment, or are attempting to make a lifetime commitment to this person. And doing that, you need to be honest and communicate with them, rather than being a Snoopy Tuesday. All right, you need to privacy. The same thing goes with going through somebody's phones or on their computer, checking their private messages. Their private messages are private for between them and someone else. Sometimes your partner will need to vent about someone, about you to someone, and that's normal. If there's a major problem, they should be bringing it up to you. Cherry.
I agree 100%. You you said everything I was going to say.
I agree, and like what I'm gonna answer your question for the person who just has this question. Why does it make you jump to find those rating reviews? I don't know. Why does it make you uncomfortable? Do you trust your partner? If they are old partners, why do you mind? Does your relationship go well? Are you scared that the person is going to cheat? It's just question. That's my answer.
I there's two things I do want to bring up, and Lusty sort of reminded me of one of them. Is all those ex-partners helped make them the person they are to commit to you. So that those ex-partners were important enough in their development that have led them to you. So you should be kind of thankful that they existed. Second thing that I have a question about is, did you go looking for it? Because if you went looking for it, that shows that you might subconsciously have some issues that you need to communicate with your partner. So
Yeah. And just finding it's a kind of private. I don't think she wanted you to find this journal. I didn't, maybe she don't remember she did those rating. Like maybe you don't know how many time it went from the time. I mean, I don't know what is the journal. I didn't read it. You read it. Maybe she wrote dates. Was it 2 weeks ago? If it is, you have a discussion to have. But you're gonna need to say sorry to open it. But then you maybe have a discussion. But if it's like, I don't know how many years you've been married. But if it's like
8 years.
10 years
They said
ago.
8 years. Oh no, did they? No, they didn't.
No, no,
No,
there are no
no. The
years.
8 years was the threesome question, right?
If it's more than the years you've been married, it's you got issues. Don't look in the secret garden of your partner if you don't want her to look at yours.
I just can I share a story, because this is
Of course.
before I left, where I grew up. Uh I was working a job with someone, and I they were dating someone else. They not dating someone else. They were dating someone who they met while working elsewhere. But then they finally moved in together, and when they moved in together, he found their old address book, and then going through the address book, they found my name, and it had 3 stars and 2 happy faces.
That's cool.
And so he came because the person that they were moving in with had legally changed the name. Thus, when I've heard of them, I didn't recognize the name whatsoever. So he came in one day and asked me, "Oh, do you know so and so?" And I go, "The name's very familiar, but it's not that uncommon a name." And then he explained what it was, and then it turns out that I had met her on a senior school trip. Like, a bunch of senior schools got together for a drama festival of all things, and we sort of met up there, and I was still in our phone book 5 or 6 years later.
Can I share something too?
Sure.
Oh, I'm hearing a noise. I don't
There
know.
is a little bit of echo coming from you.
From
Maybe
me?
you have the show. Yeah.
Mm, I
I
don't
heard
know.
like a background noise,
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard something too,
but it's faded now.
okay. So yeah, the I wanted just to share that I had that kind of journal when I was 19 to 22, something like that, and I wrote it a bunch of like how much was the person physically, sexually, blah 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 during the act, blah blah blah. I was writing it after and just having, and one day I decided to stop doing it. But there was a reason I was doing it. It's just because I was lacking confidence. I want to remember what I did, and blah blah blah. There is maybe a reason why she did that, but it's in the past.
Exactly. Like, I wasn't notified that she had changed her name. Denny Leger saying that he heard it too. It was like static, but it's gone now, I believe, at this time. And we are ready for the next question. How would you feel about showering together after sex? Oh, is this an offer? All right, Lusty, you have the first take on this.
Oh, even if it's after, before, during, anytime. I like showering with my partner. Now I'm living in a house, so now I have more space in my shower. So my partner accepts to do it. Before we didn't have a lot of space, so and he's very tall, so it was like super difficult to manage the space. But I really like, except the fact that I like very hot shower, and he prefer warm, so I need to being a little bit cold, but closer to his body, so it's better. Anyway.
You know what? It depends on the shower. I do taking time with a shower with a bench in it is amazing.
Oh my
I
God,
do.
that's only what's missing in mine.
Yeah, that's something. But a tight shower or a shower that doesn't feel clean, not so much. Cherry.
I like it too. Much like Leslie said, before, during, after, the whole time, every time. I enjoy it too.
All right. And Denny has gotten back to us saying, cats don't bother with showers. Our tongues are the best on each other. See, look, you said you were too shy to share any information. You're just giving us more.
True.
But Dennis, there is something about cats, and I'm sure you know when dogs are licking you, they give you affection. When cats are licking you, they make territory. They want you to have their smell. So it's a little bit dominant.
Our next question that we have. Do you know sex toys who can be used with both partners at the same time? And
Yes.
there we go. Cherry, you have this one first.
Yes, in my little gay world, there is such thing as a double-sided dildo. Both partners can have anal pleasure at the same time. So it's two people going towards the center of the one long double-headed dildo.
Boom. Is any others or nope?
There are vibrators that the top partner inserts into the anus, and so it gives the partner who's fucking prostate pleasure from the inside as the partner is fucking the other partner. There's also that. So the toy is not in both partners at the same time, but like both are having pleasure at the same time. Those are the ones I can think of from the top of my head.
Lusty.
Can I pass my turn? Go grab two that I can show you.
All right. I will.
So you're gonna
I
answer.
will be answering some
Okay.
right now. All right. There's a if you can get a cock ring with a clit stimulator, which is usable, which is quite delightful. A little bit of ingenuity. You can use many. For example, vibrating butt plugs are sort of amazing,
Yes.
and even like an Hitachi magic wand with a dildo or an unpowered butt plug. If that is inside your partner, say it's inside their butt, and you go in their vagina, and it's vibrating, whether it's vibrating because it's a vibrating butt plug or you're pressing a Hitachi magic wand to its base,
Yes.
you feel the vibrations along your shaft as your shaft is going in and out. And it's very amazing along the frenulum at the same time. So that's an example of a sex toy being used by both partners. There are multiple ways. You know, something that's very fun is a remote dildo. Like it's not
really?
physically affecting me, but to be the person who has the control to, like, you know, and being out maybe in a little bit of a public place, just a little buzz here and there, just like keeping it at a low hum, and then So you get to tease with your evil side. That's what happens. Lusty.
There is one I didn't find because I didn't want you to wait too long. We
Okay, your
call
cats are
them.
stealing your sex toys. All right. Yeah, we're blaming Denny on that one.
Denny, come on. I'm gonna remember it. There is one we call a little electronic hag. You can wear one inside you. It's like the size of, I mean, different size, but look like a little cylinder. You put it inside you. Then the other one have an electronic remote distance, so you can go at the restaurant, at the movie theater, or something can funny. Some stuff funny could happen. Like I remember having an order and my partner just pressed in, and I was like, "I'm gonna take." So it was super distracting, but can be funny. Then it stopped it, and I was like, when the waitress go away, I was like, okay. The other stuff I have, I can show you. Um, it's I it's a little toys like this. This is a stimulator for the clitoris, and this is kind of a cock ring shape. This is super kind of elastic. Of course, if you're gigantic, larger penis, it won't fit, but normally it goes kind of wide large. We have with this set going a little vibrator, who's go inside. So if you see how it's going, you have the penises. If the woman is riding, you have the clitoris stimulation at the same time while you're entering a penetration. The second stuff I have, I put that inside so it keep the shape. Often there is um uh,
Is
how
that a
can I say
textured
that?
cock sleeve?
Dick sleeve, not cop. Yeah, can I say? It's the same thing. Sorry.
Yeah.
Um, my bad. But you have the little side pocket here when you have the balls who go. Right, so one side, it's hard to show you, but okay, like this. So one balls go there, the other balls go the other side, and that's go external of the penis. But the sensation is outside, so for the women. But there is some who's made with sensation inside. Maybe I can just reverse it and it's gonna do the same job. But that's very cool because normally there is no sensation like this for women outside. It's often inside for the men. There is some condom who exist with texture, but it's not so quite efficient. So those what I want.
That is a thicker silicone,
Yeah,
but it leaves the head bare, which is where
yeah.
most penis having people have the majority of their nerve endings.
Yeah, and like it, if you, I don't know if it's gonna fit to hold the size, but it's a toy who can be good for a lot of kind of size. And this one too, because it go very small and you can go very big. But if you're very sensitive at the base of your penis and you're not comfortable with cock ring, don't use it because there is men who don't like it. Yeah, and I want to have just a little thing because I talk too much now. The double head dildo can be used with two women also,
Yes.
Or a woman and a man.
or a woman and a man. Yeah,
Or whatever way you identify.
yeah.
Yes, whichever ever
As
gender
long as you have a hole.
As long, yep, exactly.
Sorry, I just sort of got reminded about the chin unicorn, whatever it's called, which is
Chin unicorn. What?
well, it's a strap on, but it's meant for the face, and it comes from the chin. So there's a
Oh,
dildo
oh
there.
boy. Okay. Oof. Okay.
So you're kind of thrusting with your chin as you're using your lips and tongue.
You do the chicken. Yep.
Oh, Cherry's having the description there.
All right. Just to get back to Denis here, he's saying, maybe I'm a masochist. Masochist. And cats have their own internal vibrators. We purr for each other. Not perfectly comfortable. There's we have a number of more questions, but please feel free to add any more that if you wish. But our next question that we have is, Oh, that we did that one. Oh, okay. The next one is there. What was the most amount of people you've had sex with at the same time? Most amount of people that you've had sex with at the same time. Cherry is hanging his head, or he's trying to remember. We're not sure. Lusty.
Um, I'm not sure I want to say it, so I'm
You know
gonna
what? If you
say
don't want to say, that is an
no. I'm
honest
gonna say
answer.
something I'm comfortable with, so I'm gonna say like more than 4. That's gonna be my answer.
More than 4. Cherry.
Not 5. You say not 5. No, no. I'm sorry.
Not anywhere where I was the bottom.
Mm.
But I've been to an orgy and it was about 40 people.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm not comfortable to say it. That just I don't know why.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah.
When people ask how many people should I have sex with, or how many people should I have sex with at one time, my answer is as many as you're comfortable with. Right, that's the answer. Largest, I think 4 would be my number, but that doesn't include like if you are at a swing club, and I'm only interacting with my partner. But there's other people in the room also having sex. I'm not including that. So that is my answer to that question. But thanks for asking for our body counts. No, they didn't really ask for our body counts. That's oh, and the next question, which I get to go first. Did you ever went to a swingers club? Yes.
Yes.
Lusty. Yes.
Many times like it.
I'll say a bathhouse, not really a swinger club, but a bathhouse.
What's the difference about?
A bathhouse for gay men, like where gay men go to have sexual encounters. Yeah.
Yeah, which is more of a sauna type environment. Where a swingers club tends to be more like a bar.
A partners. Yeah.
All right. Next question that we have is how do you react during sex when your pet jump in the bed?
Denise, is it you who did that? No, don't answer. You ask anonymously maybe.
I just shoo them away. He usually doesn't. Rambo, he's sleeping right now. He usually doesn't, because all the movement and all the noises going on. He usually won't go in the bed. But otherwise, I will literally just like push him out.
I would have to also say that I would push them away. I did have an injury very early on with a cat that saw something swinging and took a swipe, and it was quite painful. Just saying, not
Sorry.
that good. Some dangling bags are not meant to be cat toys.
Ow! Oh my God! Ow!
Cheers.
Claws. Oof.
How do I react when the cat jump in the bed? I laugh. Then I try to move the pillow and everything to make her move. And if she don't move, I put her down. It's kind of changed my mood for a second, and then it come back. But and I cannot say that she come because of the sound, because she's deaf now. She's very old. She's gonna be 20 next summer. And but I'm sure it's all the hormone and smelling or stuff that can happen. So it's possible.
Boom. All right. I don't know if this is referring to what took a swipe at me. That maybe it was one of my cousins.
Oh, the question is your cousin. Hashtag it happened to my cousin.
It happened to a friend. Yeah.
Yeah.
And cats are super curious. That is, yeah. It's there we go. It happened to a friend.
Exactly.
So cats are super curious. Yes, curiosity killed the cat. So just kind of pointing that out there. The next question, if we're all ready.
Of course.
All
Denny, you
right.
have something to add to this?
Would you accept to do a porno if you get well paid? If you get well paid, would you accept to do a porno? Lusty.
What is well paid? Is my question first, and then maybe if it's well paid. And okay, not right now. There is COVID. Maybe. I stay open mind.
Cherry.
Is this an offer? Are you gonna slide into my DMs with a proposal? Is this happening right now as we speak? What are we negotiating over here?
At the
What
Cherry
is
Top on Instagram. All right.
Yeah, you need to know how much.
What is well paid? I agree with that. Would I though? Short answer, probably yes. Long answer, I would think about it. Maybe a little longer because in real life, I have some actual real, real life professional
Muggle job.
ethics stuff that I have to think about. But I would very much so consider a yes in there. But it depends what the well paid means.
And the production.
Slide into my DMs. Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, definitely. Well, what's the definition of well paid is one thing. Two, it's also making sure that it's ethically produced and distributed. Third thing is, I'm not sure that I have the skill and stamina to be truly represented well on film. So
There's a lot of DILF stuff out there.
there
You can
is.
get it on.
I could get it on. That's true. But I just I'm not sure how big of a market there would be for it, and I would have to weigh how well paid it is concerned with my other Muggle life, and how it would affect any other career. So, besides, I'd have to not show the eyes. Just
Don't
these eyes are
forget,
dangerous.
Ron Jeremy never showed his face.
What?
Ron
never showed his
Jeremy
face?
never shows his face during the act. During all the, who is Ron Jeremy?
Yes.
He
Yes,
never
he's
showed
in
his
jail.
face during the porno movies. On set during like casting or other stuff or meeting or yes, but during the movies normally he didn't show his face. So if the problem was just showing your face on the camera, you can do porno only showing your body part.
I have very well recognizable tattoos though, so I don't have that option.
Yeah, your new one, of course.
All right, and the next question that we have, did you ever have been? I think this is: have you ever been approached for a date in the artistic community? Have you ever been approached for a date in the artistic community? And I have that one first. Yes, and I do have sort of a personal rule about not dating performers who I would be booking. That is one thing that I don't want to have that conflict of interest. Lusty.
It happened, but not with producer. It happened with some other artists who were sharing the same passion, like maybe one or two, but much more date. It's I'm asking for a date that I refused. It was some creepy person who just wrote in my DM when I used Instagram and was saying, "Hey, I saw you in an online show because I only do a show." So it's like, "I saw you in an online show. Are you in Montreal? Are you? Can I meet you? I want to marry you or stuff like that." I was like, "No, I don't." Or people. So I didn't have a date with some. I would say creepy fans or creepy stalker. I don't know how can I call them. But the old friend of mine saw me on a show. he wrote to me and say, I'm really happy that you're doing that. It makes you happy. If you want to have a drink one day, I'm going to be open. I'm going to say, yeah, I'm going to consider it because you're super gentleman. So
I think the question is referring to other artists.
yeah, I answered just
Okay.
I answered it first, so it happened twice, but never with producer because I think it's a conflict of interest too, and it can become tricky.
Cherry.
Yeah, that was the point I was gonna make. Like, is it in the question? Is it like by other artists or by fans? I guess the question is by other artists, and yes, I've been asked on dates. I've gone on dates by other artists. Like Lester said, never by a producer or anybody above my head, anybody who's booking or anything. But by other artists, yes.
I do believe it's important to have friendships within the artistic community.
Friendships, yes.
Not just alliances, but actual friendships
Yes,
with
totally.
people. Go ahead, Cherry.
Finish. You can
Oh,
finish.
okay. No, if you had something to add there, that I saw your hand go up.
I was gonna add that dates are not usually the definition of the word date doesn't necessarily mean a romantic or sensual encounter. A date can just be, let's just have coffee and have a
Yes.
conversation with a
Yeah.
friend.
Yes. Okay. That is. I took it as a romantic date.
Yeah,
I have hung out with artists that I've met, socially, but not in the way of a date. We had a comment. Cats are super curious. Okay, we did get to that comment earlier.
That's it. He jumped again just because he's curious.
Yes. The next question we have is: did you ever fake an orgasm? Did you ever fake an orgasm, Cherry?
men kind of can't. There's some men who say they can do it. I don't see it happening. I faked being interested while it was happening, and like I was just personally I wasn't able to get to the orgasm point because it just like I faked being interested, but in the end it was just like no, it's not happening.
Yes.
What was the question again?
Did you ever fake an
Uh,
orgasm?
Um, yes. Not wasn't main partner or regular partner. It's gonna be my answer.
All right. So there we are. I should clarify. I was with somebody who got very very wet, and I had edged for a long time, and then I just couldn't get over. So
Yeah,
I sort of said I had because I knew that they had
gotten wet.
it was getting on to the point that they were gonna get sore. So
Yeah.
yeah. All right. Well, questions are still coming in on the Slido. Please, if you like the
Cheers!
show, please donate. It's just running along there. The link tree is at the bottom. Buy me a drink is the first thing. If I know times are rough, and if times are rough for you, it's for everybody, including these performers that you're seeing here. But if you can't donate, please at least like and share the video. Make sure that you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. When we reach 100 subscribers, we are going to have a giveaway box for it all. But we still have a number of questions to get to. And as time, as sexy as Cherry is, I'm going to make the picture a little bit smaller so we can see the question. Are you into furry?
The
Do you
deception
think
in
this?
his face.
What?
We see the deception in his face. It was like, oh,
Oh,
Sorry. Are you into furry? Do you think this kink have a place in the kinky community? Lusty, you have the question first.
Denny, is it you again? No, I'm kidding. I'm not into furry. That's my answer. Does they have their place? Yes, I think that everybody who has a kink should be included in this community, no matter what it is, except if it's very hurting somebody who's not consenting. If you're consenting, if you having a kink and the other one sharing yours and you want to share it with the community, do it.
Boom, cherry.
This tongue look.
As you have all these teddy bears in behind you.
Yes.
Yes. The way I'm gonna say, I don't know if I am into furry, because I'm gonna say I am open to it. I just never really done it per se, like a full scene, a full session of it. And the reason I'm looking away and kind of having like reveries is because one of the hottest pornos I've ever seen in my life was actually a furry scene. And that's why I'm going to say, because I haven't done it, I don't know how much into it I would be, but I'd be open to at least try and see if it is a thing that I'm into. Is there a place for it in the? Is it present in the community? The second part of the question.
Do you think this kink has a place in the kinky community?
It definitely has a place, as a lot of other kinks. There's a lot of pup play in the kink community in Montreal. Anyways, as someone who is quite involved with the kink community in Montreal, there's a lot of pup play going on right now. I don't know of a lot of furry play in the kink community in Montreal right now, but I'm sure there is some representation of it somewhere. But there is definitely a place for it. Yeah. Absolutely.
But first thing, yeah, I'm definitely. There's definitely a place for it, in my opinion. And as Leslie mentioned, anything that's happening with consenting adults is good. Specifically, adults. That needs to be mentioned and reminded. So every kink should be within the umbrella of the kink community, because it should be accepting. Anyone who's not accepting of someone else's kink that involves only adults and consenting adults at that, they're not truly being in the spirit of kink. And are you into furry? I'm not. I'm not into furry. I don't have a fursona. I've seen a bit of furry porn, or at least still images. Gotta love DeviantArt, but there's all kinds of stuff that's out there. Doesn't really tickle my fancy so much. We got Denis Leger is giving us kisses.
Oh, okay. I'm not into furry, but Denny's kiss is all right. And I just want to point something. Being a furry or being into kinky furry, it's not liking somebody having those kind of hairs. It's much more than that. So if people think this is a furry kink, it's not. It's only a props.
The fursona. The fursona is something that's kind of important in development.
Exactly.
I see that we have a lot of people watching, but very few of you are commenting. Just at least say hi. Let us know that you're watching. And we have more questions. Something just came in. See. How would you feel about swinging with another couple? And I'm in the hot seat. I've done it in the past. It depends on the couple, and it depends on my partner's willingness, and that's the only things that really matter in that. Lusty.
Yes, definitely. I like it. Don't swipe in my DM though. I don't like to meet person like this, because I like to meeting not in a more natural way for me. But jump in Cherry DM if you want. Maybe he's gonna answer the question first. But yes, I like swinging with other couple, but I need to have a chemistry with both partners. If it's not happening, I'm gonna just finishing. I'm just if there is only one partner who's interested in me, and it's not possible, it's not going to happen. But it's super cool.
Sorry, Cherry.
Absolutely agree with the last part. It has to be something. There needs to be attraction between all 4 or 6 or 8 or however many. There has to be an interest on all parts in there to participate. I'm totally open to it. As someone who's done it before, we'll probably do it again. Tomorrow I have a meeting. Kidding. I'm very, as someone who just said that I've been in an orgy with 40 other guys. Like I'm the more people, the merrier. I don't have a problem with multiple people, but in the case of couples, yes, it just there is another level of because there is like having an orgy, and then there is having a couple's fun. An orgy is like you just have however many people you want to have, and that's whether you're attracted to those other people or not is up to you. But when it's couples, everyone kind of has to be into it, or it kind of doesn't really feel very comfortable, and you gets into awkward situations and stuff like that. But yes, I'm
Boom.
open to all of it.
Swiping his DM.
Yes.
There's also the idea of a soft swing, which is two couples having sex with their own partners in the same room.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's
all
the
right.
exchange. This is more of an exchange, I think. Mm, this is
All right.
cool too.
We're trying to get through these questions, but more are coming in. Does being polyamorous already cause problems? Does being polyamorous already cause problems? Cherry, you are.
So, um, any type of true the biggest of them all truths, any kind of relationship will have problems. Anything in life will bring you problems. The key is how do you go about solving them, with consent, with honest conversation with the people you're with, whether it's just one, whether it's 40. There will always be problems. I may it as a polyamorous person myself. I may not have problem with three of my partners, but I have a problem with the fourth one. There will always be something. There is no perfect life. There is no happily ever after. There is only, as the Love Doctor always says, there is only happily until something goes wrong. So there isn't a good answer for you. The answer is there will always be something. There will always be something to be worked on.
Boom. What makes relationships work is work. Cherry's already said pretty much everything. If it is done right, then it's not as there won't be problems. But you need to have that full honesty with everyone. Lusty, we can't hear
Yes,
you.
it caused problems, but I agree with what. How do you solve the problem? But also, how do you see the problem? What was the problem, and how did you make it affect you? Um, it happened to me during as a bully. I unfortunately hurt people and have been hurt, and it's stuff that could happen. And yeah, this is a tricky question, but like in all really kind of relationship, problem can happen, and yes, maybe the person's gonna move on and you won't see this person again, or maybe it's gonna move on in another way and you're gonna continue this relationship. Nothing is happening for nothing.
But there is actually a polyamorous episode in the back history. So on the YouTube channel,
Will we do
uh,
it again?
I think the one that we had is very good. So I do recommend people go watch that if they are curious about polyamory, whether or not they think it will fit for them. They can watch it with their partner, and then they can always write in with extra questions afterwards. We have taken our last question because we have gone on quite long enough.
Mm.
What is your opinion on white and one night stands? Lusty.
um I used to have one night stands when I was younger. Now I'm out of this because it's not what I'm searching in relationships. But I think it's a reality. People do that, and it just depends on what you're searching and what experience you want to get. It's gonna bring you sometime stories you're gonna talk about later. Wrong story, funny story, or maybe he's gonna jump in good relationships. So why not? If it's what you want to experience.
Cherry.
Personally, I was never someone who did a lot of one night stands. And now in my life, I'm in a place where I really don't do them anymore. I'll put it this way: in my little gay corner, the couple of last times that I had one night stands was usually the times where I got a little surprise gift that had me go to the clinic
Oh no.
and be on antibiotics for a couple of 2 weeks or stuff like that. So I don't do them anymore out of safety for myself and for my current partners. And not to brag, just saying where I am right now in my life, I don't have the need for one night stands anymore. So I never was someone who did a lot of them, and at this point in my life, I just don't do it anymore.
But along the same lines, I grew out of them as well. So I had fun, enjoyed myself, and I took precautions. And sometimes even precautions might not be enough, but that's the way it is. Somebody's trying to sneak one last question in, and we got Richard Muller is saying that it's a grief show. I think that's great.
Thank
Uh,
you.
and we have one last one here. Does COVID affect your polyamorous relationships? How did you solve them? So that is the question,
Ending
Cherry.
with COVID again.
Uh, yes and no. Yes, because I didn't see for quite a while everyone in my circle because it couldn't get too mixed. But at the same time, no, because the people in my inner circle were my partners. So it didn't for the ones that were closer at the time and have been closer for this time, and we are on that bubble of each other. But there are a few other regular partners that I didn't see for quite a long time.
Lusty.
Um, it affect the fact that I needed to stop seeing person. For example, if we were talking about the first wave is different than right now. In the first wave, it was just like stopping everything. So that was super, for me, mentally affected because I was seeing a lot my partners. But now it's much more about, are you vaccinated? Are you okay? And finding solution. What I mean, we know it's gonna end eventually. So this all this the COVID situation, not the relationship. So we know it's going to we're gonna get over that, and we have some routine who insert to being able to communicate in different way, like I have our girlfriend. She's living. I say our because we have a common, me and my partner's girlfriend. She's living already far away in the North Shore, and we are in the South Shore. So this is more difficult, but we need to stop completely with the red zones. It was like you cannot come. Police gonna get you, whatever. So we need to do like online mini party or meeting. It's different for the sexual part. It's difficult also, but we try to do our best. And if your relationship with the person is strong, it's gonna stay.
Boom. I'm not currently living in a polyamorous lifestyle, so I don't think that question applies to me. And we are long on the time, so it's probably time to sign off. I want to thank everybody who has tuned in and watched. I want to thank everybody who helped behind the scenes as well, making sure that we had lots of questions. I want to thank all the viewers, and of course, thanking Lusty Onyx and Cherry Topp. So Lusty Onyx can be found on Facebook. Just go facebook.com/Lusty Onyx, all one word, and at the Cherry Top on Instagram. That is Cherry Top, looking sexy, given the winky face. If you're listening to the audio version of this, you need to see the sexiness that comes onto the screen. and anything to do with this show and the other shows that my manager produces, just go to the link tree. That's linktr.ee/Paul Ash, all one word, PAULASH, and you can donate to help support the show, which is greatly appreciated. It'll be divided evenly among all performers you're seeing on the screen here. And
Can I add
you.
something fast?
Yes.
If I'm right now in an online show, so if you want to see the online show, you can go in my Facebook. You're gonna see a link tree, so you're gonna find the online show where you're gonna see one of my performance. And if you want to see my face 3 times a week, I'm on Twitch, also same name, Lusty Onyx. You're gonna see my gamer side.
Boom. Cherry, do you have anything to add?
Thank you very much for having me. The Love Doctor is always a pleasure.
And I definitely want to thank the
Thank
behind the
you,
scenes
the Love
team who
Doctor,
does
for
such a
your
great
open
job.
mind. Thank
as
you
well.
so
Oh,
much.
thank you.
Thank you for
both
making
being here.
this.
My pleasure. I believe that the Vaudeville Variety Show is going to come back, but we will still continue doing the Love Doctor live stream. Things are reopening in Montreal fairly soon. And remember, I love you all. Good night.